G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bitcoin news with the fast facts. Investment advisors bought $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin. BlackRock is buying its Bitcoin ETF for their strategic global bond fund. Semler Scientific, they just stacked another bag, a big bag. Wall Street is buying big again as well. Over in Thailand, we have a bunch of industrious Bitcoiners. They're raided for mining Bitcoin illegally and causing power outages. Naughty, naughty. The French government has been hit with cyber attacks. In retaliation to arrest and Pavel, Telegram CEO in charge of cryptology, sounds like a very strange religion. Australia, it's turned to the Hunger Games due to the rising cost of living. People are hunting kangaroos and crocs, not really, but we'll dive into it. While we have Bitcoiners buying homes and opting out of Clown World, diving straight in. $9 trillion BlackRock, they just bought their Bitcoin ETF for their own portfolio. Here we go, we'll come back to that. But new. Investment advisors purchased $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin ETFs during Q2 2024. So investment advisors, they just keep buying. Everyone keeps on buying. We're going to dive into the sideways 6 months of action. But with a net purchase of $1.1 billion during the quarter, investment advisors have solidified their position as important owners of Bitcoin ETFs. Is anyone holding the ETF? Important, no, I'm playing. Even though Bitcoin's price was down Q2, the absolute value of Bitcoin ETFs owned by investment advisors increased to $4.3 billion at the end of Q2. The emergence of new names as holders this quarter indicates a widening acceptance of adoption of Bitcoin. Cannot stop this trend. So, BlackRock, they add 4,000 shares of their spot Bitcoin ETF to their strategic global bond fund. This is really just the beginning. It's about $144,000 worth, I think. Very much nothing. But the last 6 months, sideways, choppy action. A question, did you make the most of it? Did you seize the day? Carpe diem. This, while it feels like it's gone on forever and it feels like it's going to go on forever, slowly then suddenly I think we're getting to the end of this sideways accumulation zone that's perfectly healthy within the market. And people are still buying. Semler Scientific, they just bought another bag, $5 million worth of Bitcoin. They've also filed to raise another $150 million to buy Bitcoin. Chasing after MicroStrategy, we're going to dive into that because there's no way anyone can catch up now. Since adopting a Bitcoin treasury strategy on May 28, 2024, not that long ago, the company has bought $68 million worth of Bitcoin. Incredible. So Semler Scientific, they announced an additional purchase of Bitcoin. A little bit more context. So they're a pioneer in developing and marketing technology products and services to healthcare providers to combat chronic diseases. Today, announced that it purchased an additional 83 Bitcoin for $5 million. In cash, inclusive fees and expenses. As of August 26, they had a total of 1,012 Bitcoins, which were acquired for $68 million. This is quite interesting. We recently purchased additional Bitcoin using primarily cash from operations as well as capital raised through our at-the-market equity program, said Eric Semler, chairman of Semler Scientific. We are encouraged by the growing institutional adoption of Bitcoin. It was recently reported for the first time institutions own more than 20% of the Bitcoin ETF assets under management. We believe this increased institutionalization will drive value for both Bitcoin prices and for our stockholders. I agree. The number is going to pump. Now, Naomi, the charge against Pavel are absolutely insane. 3 of them are for unlicensed cryptology. Does anyone know what unlicensed cryptology? You need a number. You need a license now to be able to write numbers down. The world's absolutely gone mad. Such a huge attack on freedom of speech. Apparently, privacy in France is illegal without a license. This is terrifying. Check this out. Providing cryptology service aim to ensure confidentiality without certified declaration. Insane. Who would have thought? Now, big breaking. BlackRock is buying Bitcoin like a madman. They know something is up. 352,000 Bitcoin. BlackRock's holdings. You cannot stop this train. Wall Street, they absolutely love it. They logged $250 million in net inflows, the highest since January. Wall Street is back after the rate cut signal at the Jackson Hole Symposium. Trading volume for the 11 ETFs crossed 3.12 billion to mark their highest level since July 19. So value data. What a name. So value data shows. BlackRock's IBIT led to trading activity and inflows at 1.2 billion and 83 million, respectively. So the US listed spot Bitcoin ETFs, they saw a significant activity with over 252 million in net inflows and trading volumes exceeding $3.12 billion, driven by positive market sentiment following comments at the Jackson Hole Symposium. The amount of trading going on that day, absolutely insane. Fed Chair Jerome Powell hints at loosening monetary policy at Jackson Hole led to a surge in the price above 64,000, nearly hit 65, nearly, with expectations set for a potential rate cut at the next Fed meeting September 17th. It'll be interesting to see if we get a dip right on the cut and then it pumps, or we just rip straight away, no dip. The time has come for policy to adjust, Powell said in the speech. The direction of travel is clear, which is insane. For the first time, they have clarity. In previous meetings, they've said they're just making it up as they go. And the timing and pace for rate cuts will depend on incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risk. Traders widely expect the Fed to deliver its first rate cut in the next policy meeting September 17. Tighter monetary policy typically dampen risk appetite in financial markets, while lower rates increase the allure of asset classes such as crypto, as investors have cheaper access to capital pools. Rate cuts, money printing, liquidity flowing, things are about to get pretty hectic. Some nations, Mark Moss, are offering passports to citizens while others are threatening to take them away. Time to get a plan B going straight away. The IRS has a method of last resort to collect overdue taxes, revoking your passport. It's a PSA for somebody out there. Hear that message, keep that in mind, pay your taxes. After almost 9 years in Bitcoin, I'm thinking of ditching my cold storage and just moving to an ETF. I bring this up because this is fairly sad. They've been here for 9 years within Bitcoin, and they either haven't put in the proof of work themselves or reached out to somebody to be able to help them, to be able to protect their stack. 9 years ago, even if they put in a couple of $1,000, they've got a pretty good amount there, and they're thinking of going into the ETF. Insane. Bitcoin now makes up 95% of my net worth, and I'm becoming paranoid about messing something up or my funds being stolen. This may be a mental health issue versus reality. I started my journey just keeping my coins on Coinbase. Then I bought a ledger and moved my stash there. Once it was revealed that there may be a backdoor for Ledger to access the coins, I bought a cold card with Sparrow and moved it there. Now I'm constantly paranoid about someone draining my funds via keylogger or me making a mistake with Sparrow Wallet cold card, as it's not as user-friendly as Ledger. It is a premium device, but does anyone else deal with this? I honestly never cared as much when the Bitcoin price was lower, but now that it's the difference in my financial freedom, me working for another 20 years, it really taken a mental toll on me. Is there any way for me to move my wealth to the ETF without taking the capital gains hit? The freedom aspect of Bitcoin has always been important to me, but not at this expense to my health. If anyone is in that position, today's sponsor, the Bitcoin Way channel partner, this team is the best to be able to educate, to be able to give you the lessons so you are empowered to be able to take self-custody, be a self-sovereign individual, run a cold card, an air-gapped wallet, run a node, be your own bank, your own Swiss bank, and sleep easy at night. The first 30 minutes is free. Check out the team and check out the bitcoinway.com. They've got some really good videos there. And what Mark was saying earlier, looking at getting a second passport, these people can help you do that as well. And very affordable. Considering some passports, El Salvador is now $1 million, you'd be quite surprised what you can get talking and working with the Bitcoin Way. Now, these people, it's good on them. Naughty though. Thai authorities raid illegal Bitcoin mine after power outage sparked resident complaints. Just a real quick shout out to everyone tuning in live. Good morning. Everyone watching the replay. G'day. If you haven't already, if you can smash that like button for us, greatly appreciated. Hit subscribe if we vibe the Bitcoin news with the fast facts Monday to Friday. Now, Thai authorities, they raid an illegal Bitcoin mine after a power outage sparked residents' complaint. That's hilarious. Thai authorities successfully raid an illegal Bitcoin mining operation And Ratchaburi on August 23, the raid came after residents reported frequent power outages. The Bitcoin mining operation was found to be consuming electricity that the occupants of the house were not fully paying for. How do you not fully pay for electricity? You're either spending fiat, or you're not. Anyway, Chief District Security Officer said the seized devices suggested the occupants of the house were mining Bitcoin but were not fully paying for the electricity consumed. The security officer also revealed that in an earlier attempt to raid the house failed after officials were blocked from entering the house by a guard. How cool. However, when officials returned armed with the search warrant, most of the mine equipment had been removed. As per the report, no one was arrested during the raid. In Thailand, Bitcoin miners are recognized as manufacturers who are required to pay associated taxes. Keep in mind taxes and providing value to society. I've got an excerpt or a summary of Atlas Shrugged in regards to how the moochers steal the wealth from the people that are providing value. We'll get into that towards the end. But there are reports the governments want to impose a specific digital asset tax on Bitcoin miners. However, despite these steps, Asian nations continue to grapple with illegal Bitcoin mining operations, which allegedly cause the cost of electricity for legitimate consumers to rise. Provide more electricity, better electricity, more abundant electricity, go nuclear. Anyway, while authorities have taken steps to address the problem, it continues to persist, with the latest raid in Ratchaburi being the fourth that authorities have made in 2024. I love it. How industrious. Getting KYC free Bitcoin. Good on them. MicroStrategy, this is what we were talking about before. People want to be able to catch up. They're never going to be able to. The size of MicroStrategy's Bitcoin position is what sets it apart from other corporations. MicroStrategy, they hold 226,500 Bitcoin, which represents 1.1% of the total outstanding Bitcoin supply, an order of magnitude larger than the next largest corporate holder, Mara. Look at that, 25,000 MicroStrategy, 226,500. MicroStrategy has established a sort of monopoly. Sailor. I wonder if they're going to try break up Sailor's Bitcoin monopoly. The looters, the moochers. I wouldn't be surprised if they try it with its Bitcoin holdings. Other corporations face an uphill battle in trying to match MicroStrategy's 1.1 position, especially as the price of Bitcoin continues to rise. Pays to be early to Bitcoin. Metaplanet, Semler Scientific, MicroStrategy, what Bitcoin did with all his football clubs. The Australian dental company, shout out to Daniel. People are just waking up, adding Bitcoin onto their balance sheets, and hopefully you are to your own personal balance sheet. But well done, Sailor, for that. Now, when thinking about Bitcoin, been talking about thinking about it in a 4-year time frame. Just going as hard as you can for 4 years and then just saving from there. But your purchasing power's increased a hell of a lot. And tie this in with what we get into in Australia. And yes, at the start I said there's crocodiles and kangaroos. There's no crocodiles or kangaroos, but people are starting to get a little bit desperate. And maybe they go out and try catch him for food. But anyway, I'm playing. If you had Bitcoin 4 years ago in the state, the 26th of August, it's so funny. We write the date here normally in Australia and everyone else writes it backwards. The Bitcoin price was $11,467. 26th of August today, 2024, the price is $63,554. Your gain, 454.24%. This is where it's really interesting. Today marks day 5,210 that the 4-year gain has exceeded 100% since Bitcoin Pizza Day on May 22nd, 2010. After that 100% minimum, the next one's 200%. So stack as hard as you can for 4 years and then just save in Bitcoin. And definitely it is the money. Fiat, literally for the rest of our lives, is going to continue to keep losing value forever. If you're saving in fiat, you're stuffed. It's not going to be good for whenever you go to retire. It has to be hard assets. And yes, traditionally people have gone into the stock market and investing, they're gambling to do it. Can't understand everything that's going on. And some investments will be good, but you need to know what you're buying. Now we've just got an option, the world's hardest, most superior form of money to ever exist. It was designed, engineered to be that way. We're pretty lucky to be here with it all. And this person was real lucky. They got in 2018 with all their savings, went hard. They sold it all this summer. They're 100% finished, so they're out. They've jumped out of Bitcoin. But it's still a good story. They bought a house in a beautiful city in British Columbia. Big down payment, small mortgage, basement suit help, should be done in 5 to 10 years. Moving in with my fiance, 1 month to go. Thank you, Bitcoin. I've security and a great life now. It's been a ride to all those still holding, hodling. I hope you get everything you want in life. Well done to that person. They stacked hard. And if they got in 6 years ago and they're 100% finished, they probably didn't stack hard enough. They should be able to be in for that amount of time and do everything they've did and still keep their Bitcoin. But they're 100% finished and their life's the better for it for spending time in Bitcoin. So well done to them. Feel a little bit sad reading that. Wish they held a little bit more, but maybe they've got good fiat cash flow and they're all good with the rising cost of living. Bitcoin price started this morning 63,384. I think we're down a little bit. 63,059. Remember last week we were saying we needed to hold above 64,000 to push higher, obviously, but we got there. Couldn't get to 65. We have come back down. Hopefully we can gain back. Get that 64K level. Otherwise, maybe 58K is back in play. Maybe. A couple of psychopaths stepping in probably around the $61,000 level, but $63,059 currently. A high of 64,893 and a low of 62,800. $2,000 daily move. Do you feel anything? Hopefully not. Hopefully you're used to it by now. Smashing that big red buy button because the $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 days were at absolutely dumps. If you're used to this, same. It's red. Just the percentage number, a little bit bigger, but you don't stress about it because then you get the $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 days to the upside and you're rewarded for it. It was pretty exciting stuff. It's not. I thought I'd just play it just for a little bit of fun. It's a minute 26. The reason I bring it up is so you can take away that Bitcoiners have power. By being in Bitcoin for a long time, you've got, I don't know, a force for good behind you to be able to do good. And now Bitcoiners, crypto people are influencing the election. And whether you think it matters or not, I think it's all clown world and we can just opt out. Whoever's going to leave us alone for the next 4 years is helpful and people are willing to put their real money into it and crypto as well, which is fantastic. But having these things or stacking and then seeing a video like that should just remind you that Bitcoiners are the new elite. It's pretty exciting stuff and we're here for it.
So nearly half of all the corporate money being pumped into this year's election is coming from the crypto industry, according to a new report from the nonprofit watchdog group Public Citizen. Now, the sector, which has been under high scrutiny by the Biden administration, is outspending big oil and banks this cycle, with Koch Industries in a distant second place in terms of corporate contributions. Heavyweights like Coinbase, Ripple, and VC firm Andreessen Horowitz, which has a sizable crypto book, have collectively given more than $146 million with the goal of trying to get candidates who are friendly to the industry into office. Now, most of that corporate money being raised is going to the popular and bipartisan pro-crypto super PAC called Fairshake, which is one of the top spending PACs this year. I spoke to their team last night to get the latest numbers on the 4 largest donors to Fairshake and its associated PACs. Coinbase has contributed $49 million. A16Z and Ripple have both given $47 million each, and Jump Crypto put in $15 million. Now, as for where all that money is going, a filing with the Federal Election Commission this week showed that in July, Fairshake dispersed almost $75 million and still has nearly $120 million left to deploy, with 73 days to go until the November election. The super PAC has pledged $25 million from that pool of cash to 18 House candidates in the general election to be split among 9 Democrats and 9 Republicans. It's committed another $18 million to 3 Senate races, Joe.
Pretty interesting. Hey, that's the power of Bitcoin. You can influence the so-called leaders of the world, but also you can just opt out and not play this silly clown game. So we're going to dive into Australia very shortly. the clown games, the Hunger Games going on here. But CJK, I like CJK. Fed's interest rate demand destruction campaign work. The US economy has 1 million full-time jobs lost in a year. All jobs revised down by 818K for the 12 months through March 24. 392 big bankruptcies in 2024. Second most in 14 years. The economy is on the precipice, absolutely blown up. 2.1 trillion in excess savings gone in 3 years, obliterated. $35.2 trillion in debt. Wow, this hurts to read. $217 trillion in unfunded liabilities. Yes, they can print the money for Social Security, all these socialist communist programs. Absolutely fantastic. Well done. And it debases everyone else's purchasing power. So that's why I hope everyone's got hard assets. They've got Bitcoin. 9 consecutive quarters of negative real GDP when using proper inflation as GDP deflator. 3 more consecutive quarters of negative real GDP away from entering textbook depression. But everything's good. Everything's sweet. It's all rosy, yeah? Fed will be forced to lower interest rates, forcing $6 trillion of sideline capital back out onto the risk curve. Number go up. Bitcoin is going to pump. Weak economy equals lower tax revenues equals government have larger deficits, plus government will have to deficit spend to help rebuild the destroyed economy. It's just a horrific perpetual cycle. Wave 2 of 2020 radical monetary policy causing inflation is imminent. Prepare accordingly. Protect your purchasing power with Bitcoin. Before we get into Australia, cybersecurity attacks French government websites. It's a report. So French authorities have come under fire from free speech activists in the crypto community after arresting Pavel Telegram's founder. Multiple French government websites, they have gone offline in a DOS attack believed to be linked to a Russian hacker group, according to multiple reports. The affected websites include the Administration Courts of Paris, French Health Department's site, and the Court of Cassations, not castrations, page. Cointelegraph was unable to access the site at the time of writing and received a warning that connections to the site were not secure. Macron, he claims the arrest was not political. August 26, Macron issued a statement of Jirov Pavel's arrest, claiming it wasn't political. Macron reiterated France's commitment to freedom of speech. Yeah, I don't believe you. Freedom of expression, don't believe you there either. While also stressing that the outcome of Jirov's case would be determined, by a French independent judiciary system and not the political apparatus of the country. Macron's statement attracted widespread backlash from the crypto community. Well done. The free speech activists, well done. With former VanEck director for digital asset strategy, Gabor, asking, you arrest the guy, then see if he did something wrong. Is this the rule of law and freedom of expression you are talking about? French prosecutors, they released an update on the August 26th revealing the French law enforcement officials could hold Jirov until August 28th for questioning regarding crimes committed by an unnamed person allegedly operating on the platform. Doesn't make any sense. At the time of this writing, Jirov has not been formally charged with the crime by French officials and has not demonstrated legal wrongdoing. But he put out cryptology. He put numbers down into a computer and he's been done for it. It's absolutely insane. What a crazy world. Now, survival of the fittest here in Australia. This way you need to get sun, sand, walk, steak. You know what I'm talking about. You've been following along. We'll keep it PG today. But Australia isn't feeling well. Feeling well, they're not. We're going to dive into what's making everyone sick shortly. But faring well. Tyler Dean, shout out to you, brother. This guy goes hard getting the signal out, especially harassing the politicians here in Australia. Appreciate the proof work you put in. But just out of interest, Frank, there's Bitcoin something you hold, mate. Do you think it has a role to play in the future digital world? Thank you kindly. Tyler, just non-stop like this, especially with the PM. But survival of the fittest. Australia no longer the lucky country. Soaring cost of living has turned the country into survival of the fittest as Aussies share their brutal stories. Soaring cost of living has turned Australia into a game of survival of the fittest, where young people and those not already wealthy face a bleak and depressing future. 100% agree with that everywhere around the world. That's the view of one Reddit user whose viral post on Sunday has attracted hundreds of comments from Aussies sharing their day-to-day financial struggles and in what was once the lucky country. Yes, this is the lucky country. It's absolutely beautiful. It's glorious. Sunrise this morning was absolutely amazing. Bright, bright orange sky, Bitcoin orange sky. Absolutely incredible. Australians, though, in general, do have a history of complaining that misery loves company. Also, it's called tall poppy syndrome. Anyone that's succeeding, doing well in life, instead of asking them for some advice, some lessons, some tips or whatever, or just giving them a congratulations, I saw a lot of like the positivity that side. Someone's doing well in the States. Everyone collapsed, loves it. They find it motivational, inspirational. Here, someone's doing something good. They just want to shut it down because it makes them feel bad because they're not doing anything, not providing any value. But in regards to the soaring cost of living, complaining about it, that's not going to fix anything. All you need to do is put in the work, start reading the books. Bitcoin is that answer. And this cost of living crisis, it's going on forever. Maybe at periods of time, things get a little bit better. Maybe after some really large austerity measures where everything gets freaking hard, even harder in the short term for a better long term. But the fiat system, it's dying. It's an evil beast. It needs to just be buried. But that's not going to happen straight away, and it's going to take some people to the grave. So please opt out of it. Start reading the books. And it doesn't need to be survival of the fittest. You don't need to go hunt kangaroos and crocodiles to be able to get your food. You can just buy something where your purchasing power goes up over time, 100% in the last, 100% minimum in a 4-year period. Judging by history, doesn't always repeat. But I bring this up. It's not related to Bitcoin. It's related to the Australian government. I'll read it first and I'll give the context. Blackout Bowen has given Westpac a $160 million handout of taxpayer funds. Westpac, it's one of the top 4 banks here in Australia. So they can undercut the other big banks in offering subsidized low interest loans, which will only be available to those who already have or are approved for a Westpac home or investment loan of at least $150,000. To pay for home electric car charges and the like. This green agenda is so bloody sinister, they need to do backdoor deals with Australian taxpaying money. Anyway, when a government hands out $160 million of taxpayer funds to any of the big banks, you know it's rotten to the core. But I'm sure when Blackout is finally voted out, what's the chance that it will be a juicy board position awaiting him at Westpac? This is why politics, bureaucracy is so destructive. They're so close to the money printer they can do these things. And where's it come out of our pocket? Through inflation. Absolutely insane. Or directly from our tax dollars. I did not agree to that. Just need to opt out with Bitcoin. It infuriates me. It is freaking clown world out there, but a little bit of calm in the market. Bitcoin, it just keeps working. Look at that. We got a new block. Check out the number, 858,566. Says, wow, Bitcoin's up a little bit as well, even if I bring it up here. 63,320, baby. Pump. $250 roughly in the last couple of minutes. Let's go. Maybe we can get 64K back. But sats per US dollar. Still under that 1,600, 1,578 market cap, $1.28 trillion. I wonder where this is going to end up at the top of the bull market. What are your guesses for everyone tuning in? Where do you reckon? 3 trillion, 5 trillion, 10 trillion? Not that much, 2.5 trillion? What are your thoughts out there on that? And shout out to Jason Mercer. I'll give you a holler later. Average block time, 9 minutes and 43 seconds. Last block, 1 minute and 30 seconds ago. Couple more nodes on there, I think, from yesterday. Well done if that was you. Adding a node to the Bitcoin network and being your own bank, opting out. Just more nonsense going on. The banks, the governments, they're all insane. California to consider $150,000 home loan for illegal immigrants. California, because this is great for everyone in society, isn't it? Push the house price up for everyone else and a cost of living crisis. California is close to approving a measure that would make illegal immigrants eligible for up to 100 illegal immigrants. Not legal, illegal. Up to $150K in state-supported home loans for down payments. California Dream for All program would provide 20% down payment assistance with no savings required from recipients. No saving. Where are they getting the money from? Do they have any money? Do they do a credit check? Probably not. Governor Gavin Newsom, spokesperson, said he would evaluate the bill on its merits if it reaches his desk. Critics argue that this measure could incentivize illegal immigration to the state. Probably. So Venice.ai, I just asked in the book Atlas Shrugged, how do those in power steal the productivity of those who provide value to society? The moochers, the looters. In Ayn Rand's novel Atlas Shrugged, those in power steal the productivity of those who provide value to society by exploiting the altruistic philosophy that values sacrifice for the benefit of others. The government and various powerful elite implement policies that force individuals to work against their own self-interest, redistributing their wealth to support an ever-growing welfare state. The villainous character, Wesley Mount, serves as a prime example of this phenomenon. As the head of the Bureau of Economic Plan and Natural Resources, he manipulates economic policy to benefit his political allies and sabotage the success of productive individuals like Hank Rearden and Dagny Taggart. Mouch creates policies that stifle innovation, limit industrial expansion, and drain the profits of successful businesses. Feels like Australia. Can anyone else relate? For example, he imposes a 10% tax on all income earned above $25,000. Wish I was only on a 10% tax bracket. Anyway, which disproportionately affects the wealthy and those who create value in society. Additionally, Mooch mandates that companies must hire unskilled workers at inflated wages, making it more expensive for them to produce goods. These policies undermine the motivation of productive individuals as they see their hard work being taken away by the government through taxation and redistribution. Many entrepreneurs and innovators eventually refuse to contribute any further, leading to decline in economic productivity and growth. They just opt out. The novel argues that this phenomenon is not limited to political elites, but is also perpetuated by society's moral values, which encourage people to sacrifice their own interests for the benefit of others. This altruistic mindset creates an environment where successful individuals are demonized, and those who produce value are forced to choose between contributing to society or going on strike. In this way, Atlas Shrugged portrays a world where the theft of productivity occurs not through direct coercion, but through the manipulation of morality and economic policy. Have you read the book Atlas Shrugged? I highly urge everyone to read it. It's a really big book. It's absolutely amazing book. I wish it was twice as big. So well written. It's a must read for every Bitcoiner out there. Don't let these people steal your life force energy, your values to society away. Have money outside their control, provide value to society. If it still gets crazy, batshit crazy, just opt out, move. I saw Edith, somebody knows, Jason Mercer, SEX in the house. Anyway, we've got one more thing to get through before we get into a rip. But we have people in the chat opting out, looking at getting a Plan B citizenship. Well done. And just a PSA, this is how bad the world is. Why is everyone sick? Alcohol, fluoride, poor sleep, glyphosate, that's like a weed killer, dehydration, zero sun exposure, toxic cookware, parasites, mold, polluted city drinking water, Sydney, staying indoors and blue light, not enough daily movement, heavy metals, i.e. aluminum, nutrient depletion from taking multiple meds, processed foods with rancid seed oils, hormone-destroying body care products. Did I miss anything? Yeah, not saving, like fiat, not saving in Bitcoin. That's why everyone's sick. But that list of things there, if you use it as cheat sheet, there's no point getting extremely wealthy with Bitcoin if you lose your health in the process. And that's what's so great, especially about Bitcoin Twitter, Bitcoin X, is people encourage you to walk in the sun or be in the sun, go for walks, get in your 5,000, 10,000 steps per day, go to the gym, lift heavy, motivate, add back, get rid of fluoride, sleep properly. Maybe on the sleep, Bitcoiners are pretty bad in general, but 7:37 is a good time to go to bed. The hours of sleep you get before midnight are the best. Anyway, just before I ramble too much, that's the Bitcoin news with the fast facts. I'm going to get into a little bit of a banter. If you're hanging around, welcome. If you're heading off, please do something nice for yourself or somebody else out there. If you can, smash that like button on the way out and leave a comment. I've got a few to catch up on, but I will reply to everybody's comments after the video. Now, shout out to everyone that is here for a little bit of a banter. McLovin in the house, Habib. Good to see you this morning. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way in. Greatly appreciated. Matthew J, ETF Bitcoin isn't real Bitcoin. It's not. It's an IOU on Bitcoin. It's insane. Maybe it's good for pension funds, but for you to be a sovereign individual, you can't do that with the ETF. And why wouldn't you want to? The world's pretty mad at the moment. We've got an opportunity just to step outside the mad world and enjoy the amazing world. It's like a parallel economy, just a parallel reality. You can be in the same place and just move, just shift perspectives, and it's incredible. G'day guys from Pompeii, England. G'day Mike. If you think it is, try to send it, try to get liquidity after 5 p.m. EST. This is in regards to the ETF. New choke point 2.0 is ETFs buying and capturing Bitcoin. Yeah, whatever they're taking, it's very unlikely that you're going to get it back if you're selling to them. The Bitcoin ETFs are for institutions, people who are too lazy to learn about self-storage. ETFs are a high-risk way to get into a Bitcoin game. Education is key, like anything else. The greatest attitude. G'day, gang. E-Boot in the house. Steve Smith, Retro Beaver. France has lost its way. I think the world has lost its way. E-Boot, talk to Tony about Plan B. Last night, somebody putting in the proof of work, learning to be able to be free. Well done. That's epic. How cool is he, hey? I was speaking to him on Sunday. What a guy. Once the USD value of Bitcoin is at or above 100K, everyone will once again be interested. Humans are highly predictable. 100% agree with that. People love number go up, and that's what I love about the Bitcoin price when it pumps. New people come in, and it's just a matter of getting them to put in the proof of work to read the books and understand it's volatile AF and it's a feature, not a bug, and to hold on to it forever because it's going up forever over time. But yeah, number go up definitely brings people in. It's exciting. Made the live. Good to see you, Crypto Gator. Well, Jason, good to see you. Sealan, looking good. It's interesting. We're getting there. It's not as perfect as what I'd like, but I'll see what I can do today to tidy it up. I thought she pear shape at first. Good morning, Linda. Johnny Midas, good to see you. Skins, good morning. Crypto Gator, I have no idea. I thought she said pear shape at first. I've no context for that. It must have been a reference to something I said. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Matthew J. Freaking glorious to be here. What a great day. Don't trust anyone. Jason Mercer figured out that the other word, sun, steak, surf, sex, sand, sweat, it's stacks at. That's the key to a healthy life. Catch you all later. And Jake, second day of no YouTube notice. I'm 25 minutes late and 1.5x speed. Maybe I'll catch the last 5-minute live like yesterday. In the meantime, make woke tards broke again. Yeah, let's go. Jake, maybe try push the notification bell and like take it off and then put it back on again as well. YouTube can glitch out. And for everyone that is tuning in, if you are subscribed, also push the notification bell because you may not be notified when we go live. And it's Monday to Friday, 7:35 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Next week's going to be a little bit loose. We book the reef for a week every year to go out snorkeling, spearing, maybe mainly snorkeling, and just absolutely chill. So I will still go live, but the time, I don't know, bear with me. I'll keep everyone updated on that one and the time, but I'll take the traveling podcast over there and we'll set up on the beach or something, or in one of the gazebos. Got a troll in the chat. Don't trust back into game. Don't trust any YouTuber. 100% don't trust anyone. Put in the proof of work. Don't trust, verify. It's what every Bitcoiner that understand it says. Put in your own proof of work. Listening to other people is just there to be able to get your brain to be able to focus on certain threads, and whether you follow them or not, it's all your choice. None of the videos, financial advice, none of my advice to everyone is study Bitcoin. Do your own proof of work. So back into game. Appreciate you, brother. Hacks don't get likes. Okay. Good, I'm not a hack then. If you have the monies, you run the world. He who controls the money controls the world. 100%. back in the game. You can leave them in here if you haven't already booted them, people. Matt, and that's what happens. That's that tall poppy syndrome here in Australia. Maybe this dude's Australian. Maybe he doesn't resonate with me. That's fine. If you don't resonate with me, watch somebody else. It's all good. But don't just hear about Bitcoin, oh, it's too expensive or it's too hard to understand, and give up. Because if you do what is easy, giving up your life will be hard. But if you do the hard things now, learn about it, run your own node, an air-gapped wallet, get into Plan B citizenship, your life will be easy. It'll continue to get easier and easier and easier at compound. After the capture most of the Bitcoin and ETFs, they'll roll out their CBDC digital control. Yeah, CBDC development still going ahead everywhere. And Jerome Powell said something like 3 weeks ago in regards to they're looking at creating like a payment rail or something because it hadn't been updated since the 1970s. It's got something to do with CBDCs, mark my word, but very little context in regards to it. Don't trust at back in the game. Verify. Sean, good people. Though, yous are all good people. What a glorious, grateful day. Anyway, that's news with the fast facts. I am getting back into putting the studio roof, tidying up, getting the walls painted, and getting back in that way. So that's my mission for the day. Proof of work. I'll post a couple of photos there on X. If you haven't already, and we vibe, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. If not, hit the thumbs up. I don't know if there's a thumbs down on YouTube. If you want to give me a thumbs down, let me know why, and then I can improve. There's a saying, Kaizen, continuous improvement. It's how I live my life, and I think that should resonate with many Bitcoiners out there. But Carpe Diem, do something nice for yourself, for somebody else. Be blessed. Peace.
Everything seemed normal. Successful businesses were functioning as they usually should. Money was being placed in the bank as savings. Life was good. Nobody notices anything funny. But 2008 hits and all hell breaks loose. Everything we thought about money and the banking was a complete lie, a complete sham, a Ponzi, a scam. The whole world fell apart and a lot of people got hurt financially. And as a result of this, the Bitcoin white paper was born. But yet the same mistakes keep happening over and over again. People are leaving money on their institutions up until the last straw, FTX, when billions of dollars were lost, families were decimated, life savings were completely wiped, and people were wondering what on earth just happened.